Diddy has just been sentenced to
That
over
boy
4
thought he's gonna
years in
get
federal
away.
prison, putting an end to the freakiest trial in hip-hop
Family
history.
for the freak offs.
Acquitted of racketeering and sex trafficking, Diddy was found guilty back in July for 2 lesser charges of transportation for the purpose of prostitution, aka flying hoes out. All of the insane allegations brought up throughout this trial, from cars blowing up, shots being fired, guns being found, and tons of lubricating evidence, seem to have no effect on the case. A major win for Diddy, but the battle wasn't.
That is crazy that how all the other stuff is, they got him on that. Wait. I don't know.
Over. Diddy would break down into tears in court, begging the judge for mercy, pleading that he's a changed man and learned from his mistakes.
You gotta do it on 4 years,
Diddy's
nigga.
kids would even speak to the judge, asking for their father's freedom and to consider their 2-year-old sister who constantly asked every night for her daddy. Federal prosecutors would state they recommend 132 months, an 11-year prison sentence, but the judge would deny the recommendation, finding it too harsh. Instead, the judge would sentence Diddy to 50 months in federal prison, which is 4 years and 2 months to be more specific. Diddy would also receive credit for the 14 months he'd spent incarcerated, putting him at exactly 3 years to serve in prison.
Right.
But things actually get even better. Federal prison requires 85% of a sentence to be
he
served.
gotta do like
Meaning
2.5.
with good behavior, Diddy can be released in just over 2.5 years.
And that's the only thing that's gonna save him is that federal prison. Because what Diddy gonna be in there doing, bro? I would sit my ass down and I'd be out in 2.5 years. Like, you feel me? You got yourself in a situation, but like, come on, bro. Like, they already gave him served time, so that knocked it down to 3. Then, like I said, with good behavior, you do 2.5 on me, bro. I just be in there chilling, minding my business.
Putting his release date in 2028. So how will federal prison be for Diddy? Because of his minor criminal history, Diddy doesn't qualify to be sent to a United States penitentiary. These are the deadliest compounds in the federal system, controlled by racial politics and gangs. A step down would be a medium, but Diddy is likely to find himself in a group home or even a camp. Right. These are the most minimal custody facilities, with some not even being fenced in. His celebrity status will absolutely benefit him in prison, and just a few years ago, Diddy was reportedly a billionaire. But this legal case would knock his net worth down to 200 to 400 million, still making him one of the richest inmates in the federal prison system. Money inside of prison also means power. And I wouldn't be surprised if Diddy has multiple cell phones to stay entertained and in contact with the outside world. If Diddy hasn't sobered up after all this time off the streets, he'll definitely have access to drugs in prison. If not, the ability to control the drug trade at whatever spot he lands. While this trial wasn't filmed, artwork would be released showing Diddy in a number of positions, including on his knees, as he found out all the money spent on his legal team still wasn't enough for him to walk free. While 4 years isn't much compared to what he could have got, try to understand how long 4 years is. High school, college, serving in the military. 4 years is enough to have a significant impact on one's life.
On me, 4 years changed a lot.
The most time Diddy's ever had to do in his life, he'll be released at roughly 57 to 58 years old and will still be very, very wealthy. He's likely to return to his throne, interviews propelling him back into the algorithm, and business ventures placing him right back into the yachts and mansions. The prison influence will likely have him working out, and he may even come home healthier than before he went in. Prison is what you make it. A life lesson for many, or a repetitive cycle. Rehabilitation is only accomplished by putting in the work yourself. So imagine being locked in a library. Endless amounts of knowledge. But if you never open a book, you'll never leave smarter than when you went in. Now, do I see Diddy getting in trouble in prison?
No.
To be honest, I can see him getting caught with contraband, like a cell phone at the most.
Yeah, I can see that too. But bro, that nigga was crying, bro. Sit your ass down and be like, bro. I don't understand why niggas get in prison and still want to do shit to get them in even more trouble and get more time. Like I never understood that. Like, bro, you already in there for a certain time now. Now you want to, oh, let me get a cell phone in here, contraband. Like, what, bro? You ain't doing it but adding to your time damn near probably. So, like I said, Diddy, sit your freaky ass down and just be cool. You do your
He
two and a
has
half, you
enough
be out.
money to pay whoever to hold his shit down, and you gotta think, this guy is in prison that nobody sends money to.
Right.
Imagine Diddy comes into your cell and says, hey, you're gonna hold my phone, my weed, and whatever else I tell you to do. I'm gonna put $1,000 on your books every month. He just changed that man's life and essentially made him prison rich, as most people who get money might not even see $100 in a month. Now, it's also said Diddy qualifies for a drug program that can reduce his sentence another year. And once he's short timing, he'll be sent to a halfway house. So Diddy's release could come sooner than many think. It's wild though, how so many have shown disappointment in his light sentence. Seeing Cassie being beat was far from easy, and hearing the other accusations against him definitely painted a picture before trial. But those weren't the crimes he was found guilty of, and it seems people feel he should still be punished for those actions. Regardless, the freakiest case in hip-hop has officially ended, and I just wonder where the feds are able to store the hundreds of bottles of lubricating evidence they recovered. Now, in my opinion, do I feel his sentence was just? I would say no. Because to be honest with you, transporting to engage in prostitution, like, bro, crazy. That's such a gray area. Because like, if I'm talking to a girl from LA, right, and I fly her out and she knows I got money, I'm this YouTuber, whatever, she's expecting I'm gonna wine and dine her, maybe trick on her, buy her a couple things, and I'm expecting that I'm gonna smash. But if the feds really wanted to, they could literally write that off as transportation for prostitution. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what the fuck? You can face up to 15 years for that shit, bro. Diddy was facing 15 for...
And that's the crazy part. Niggas, the PDFs and they get less time than that. And you can face up to 15 for engaging in prostitution. Like, you know how crazy that is, bro? Like, it don't be like...
One count, 15 for the other. Essentially, what, 30 fucking years if they ran it like that? That's insane to me. Now, trafficking is a whole nother thing. Or if you're flying a bitch out and tricking her, that's a whole nother thing. And I guess that's what they're saying he was doing. He was bringing girls out and then making them engage in other things. But it's like...
They was willing to participate.
You're the one paying people to do this shit. You're not, like, pimping them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would understand if you flew out Cassie or flew a guy out to smash Cassie and then you got the funds from the guy. That's pimping. You know what I mean? But he wasn't pimping. He was paying the guy. So it's like you paid someone to smash your girl, then you smash your girl. I don't understand. But to me, if I'm being quite honest, aside from the victimization of Cassie, it sounds like adults being adults and doing adult things that adults should have the freedom to do. In my opinion, when things get out of hand and, you know, they brought all the accusations of him spiking drinks and beating women and threatening people, all that's crazy, right?
Nah, I don't agree with none of that. Him doing all that, like, cause we seen the video of him slinging Cassie ass across that hotel hallway. Yeah, like I said, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with none he did, but still, it's just like, how he didn't get charged for none of that stuff? Like how they, like, y'all legit dropped all those charges and gave him the prostitution and trafficking and stuff? Like,
but that was all used to paint a picture. He wasn't found guilty of racketeering. He wasn't found guilty of trafficking.
Right.
And getting those charges acquitted in a federal fucking court is crazy. you could damn near say Diddy beat the motherfucking feds. He
Right.
beat a racketeering case.
Charge. That's
some
that money,
big
boy.
shit, and he only walked away with 4 years. Now he's panicking because he ain't a prison dude. He ain't an inmate dude. He's never done time. But for a motherfucker that was facing life to walk away with
4 years, I'll be.
you got a victory at the end of the day. I think it's a little bit excessive, but who knows? You know, I'm not the professional. I'm not the judge. And maybe the 4 years will do him more good than bad. Because at the end of the day, if he's locked up in there and he's working out, eating healthier, it's a whole lot better than him being out here doing drugs and basically living in sin. But hey, it's 1090 Jake. Let me know y'all's thoughts and comments.
You feel me? Lock his ass up regardless. It is what it is. Sit him down. He probably gonna get out and do the same shit he was doing already. Who knows? But hey, Diddy, do your 4 years and come home, my nigga.